Howdy y'all, Ballcard Zero here. Just got back from the show in Hickory, North Carolina, and I'm always really happy when I get a chance to go to a show in Hickory because, number one, Hickory's my old stomping ground. I lived there for a long time, many moons ago, but it still feels kind of like home to me. So whenever I visit, I have a chance to spend time with my family, my kids, may try to visit a couple old girlfriends or something like that. But the other reason, it just seems like that the shows in Hickory are some of the best shows in the Carolinas. There might be shows that have more vendors or more tables, but it seems like I always come up with a lot of better pickups at the Hickory show as opposed to anywhere else. So always excited to go whenever there's a show in Hickory. A little bit about me. Since this is the first episode, I wanted to spend just about a minute introducing myself. And basically my story is this. I collected ball cards, started about 89, 90, somewhere around there, like most kids did, and then got out of it around the mid-90s, right around the strike. But I've recently got back into it. I mean, I've always kind of been into it between now and then, but just recently started really getting into it again, like a lot of other people, because this hobby's really picked up some steam here lately. But what I like to collect, or better yet, what I don't want to collect, I don't buy anything new as far as packs or boxes or anything like that. I usually I might buy an individual card every now and then, but for the most part, it's all vintage stuff. And the other thing I don't really want, I don't have a single card that's graded. I just don't. I don't need that because I'm not going to resell it. All this is going in my personal collection. And I don't need somebody else to tell me the condition of a card. I can look at it on my own and make that determination. And then I can figure out if it's worth it or not. And in fact, I'd rather have a little condition issue, maybe a little print booger or, rough around the edges or something, because that means it's usually a better price. And that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for bargain prices. You can go 7 counties in any direction. You won't find a person that's cheaper than me. So I like to save $1. So let me go in and show you some of the cards I picked out. Now, before I show you the cards, I had to think of the order that these cards, I was going to show them to you. So I thought this would be a perfect way to start off with this card right here. Greg Jeffries. If you know, you know. If you were a collector back in 89, 88, this was the can't miss prospect back then. This Greg Jeffries was supposed to be the combination of Don Mattingly and Wade Boggs. I mean, he was going to be just the big superstar. And it seemed like back then, every couple of years you had Greg Jeffries, Todd Van Poppel, Brian Taylor, and if you hadn't heard any of them, well, there's a reason. Greg Jeffries wasn't a bad player. He actually made All-Star once or twice, I think. Maybe he won no, I don't think he won a batting title. But and fact check me on that, Madam Editor. But one thing that's weird about this is that Mandela effect. I remember an 88 Topps. I really do. I guess there wasn't, though. I thought he had some 88 cards, and I thought 88 Topps was one of them. I remember seeing it. Because it said something, I can't remember, but apparently he didn't. So this is, I guess this is his first Topps card. Not worth anything now. I only paid a dime for it. But one thing I do like are league leader cards. One reason I like them is because usually you have 3 or 4, sometimes 5 players on one card, and if they're leading the league, well, then they're doing pretty good. They're usually All-Stars, Hall of Famers, something like that. But got something on my hat. Anyway, so wanted to show you this right here. This is from the 69 set, but it's from the 68 season. This is the ERA leaders from the 68 season. And you can see for $1, I paid $1. I just said that. But it's the Bob trifecta. You got Bob Gibson, Bob Boland, and Bob Veal. The main thing here is Bob Gibson. So it's a Bob Gibson card from the 69 sets for $1. So and you can see it, there's some condition issues, but again, for $1 you'd probably pick that up as well. Another league leader card. This is from the 72 set. You got Fergie, Steve Carlton, and Tom Seaver, Hall of Famers. And then also down here you got Al Downing. Al Downing's claim to fame, he's the one that gave up Hank Aaron's record-setting home run, number 755. 71 set. You can't overlook these 71 set because it's so that black background, those black borders, you can see they just show up every little defect that there is. But pretty big names. You got Johnny Bench, Tony Perez, and Billy Williams. Again, only $1. Here's a couple cards that I picked up. I'm going to go through them real fast. I paid $1 for every one of these cards. I just like them because they're kind of reflective. They're shiny, which is real popular nowadays. Here's a Joe Montana, some Frank Thomas cards. Check that out. There's a shimmery Greg Maddux card. And I don't know much about these cards. I just know that I just like the way they look. Karl Malone. Look at that background on that one. That's a cool card. Good old Jerry Rice. Elway. I like the Dolphins growing up, so here's a couple of their cards. Marino and Ricky. Derrick Brown for Auburn. Rose, Brown. They're both acronyms. Slick Magic Johnson. Sounds like the name of a porn star. David Robinson, bunch of David Robinsons. Larry Bird with the Dream Team. And Mike Allstott, rookie. Real hard to say, real hard to think of Mike Allstott without hearing Chris Berman in the background. One thing that I started doing a couple years ago was trying to complete a 1975 Topps baseball set. And I already had the Yount rookie, the Brett rookie, and most of the star cards. So anytime I go to one of these shows, I try to pick up any cards that I'm missing from that set to work toward completing it. But it's gotten hard here lately to find these cards because it's just almost like a needle in a haystack trying to get all these individual cards. But I'll show you some of the cards that I picked up. Here's a Catfish card. Now, you can already see what the issue is on it. But the thing is that I'm going to continue to look for another Jim Hunter card. But at least I can put this in the binder to say, hey, I've got it. But I'm still going to try to find another one. Doyle Alexander, a common. Don Baylor, he's not really a common, but not exactly a star player either. Here's a Herb Washington card. Now, I don't know if you've ever heard. I don't know if you've ever heard of Herb Washington. Maybe you have. I haven't until now. But here's what's neat about this card. It's a very unique card. And the reason I say that is because if you look, his position is labeled pinch runner. So, from what I understand, he is the only player to ever have a card in the history of baseball cards to have his position labeled strictly as pinch runner, because that's what he was. And he literally had 0 at-bats in his career. He was strictly brought on to be a pinch runner. So, pretty cool story behind that. Here's a 75, well, of course it's a 75. Pete Rose, paid $5 for it, and there's some condition issues. But the thing is, if it wasn't in this condition, it would be a lot more. But you can definitely see those corners are there. This card's been around the block once or twice, and it's kind of rough around the edges, but that's kind of like how I like my women too. So real happy to pick that up. Now, something Topps did in '75 to celebrate 25 years of being in the baseball card business, they started doing the past 25 MVPs from the year. So this is from the 72 season. Again, this is a 75 card, but it's talking about the 72 season. You got MVPs of Johnny Bench and Rich Allen. Another MVP card, and I paid $3 for this, is Mickey Mantle and Don Newcomb. And usually, especially these Mickey Mantle cards in this set, they usually bring like $10, ungraded, depending on condition, of course. But for $3, and I needed that, I couldn't turn that down. These two cards, I paid. You can see I paid a total of $5 for them from one vendor. Ignore that. I'm going by this right here. So the first one is another MVP card of Bob Roberto Clemente, Frank Howard, and then the rookie card of Fred Lynn. Got a couple other guys on there, but Fred Lynn's the main one. This card has always kind of griped me a little bit because it's got that. I guess that's his sleeve, but it almost looks like part of the face of the card has been ripped off or something, or maybe there was something on the printing plate. I don't know, but it looks like something's missing there. All right, for this next one, I got to crack open a cold one right here. Good old Sun Dope. Even got a Earnhardt on the front. So bottoms up. Man. That's some good stuff. Yeah, I can feel my teeth rotting away right now, but it's still good. So, going to look at a few NASCAR cards, and my God, I heard everybody just groan all at the same time. Listen, NASCAR is still pretty big here in North Carolina, and especially the All-Star race is going to be ran at North Wilkesboro later tonight, so still a pretty big deal. But anyway, picked up these two cards, and the first one is Earnhardt himself, and really there's not too much spectacular about this card other than it just being Earnhardt, but oh man, anyway, so yeah, I like this card just because it is Earnhardt, but you know, it's just pretty standard for him. I mean, look at him. He just, Earnhardt being the intimidator, scaring the hell out of somebody. And then this one here says $10. Only paid $1 for both these cards. Handsome Harry Gant. Looks autographed. I can't swear to it that it's autographed, but Harry Gant just lives right up the road in Taylorsville. And he does a lot of autograph signings. I mean, you know, if the city puts in a new manhole cover, he's out there signing autographs to help with the publicity. I mean, he's just everywhere. In fact, he was actually at the signing autographs at the last show in Hickory. So, and it looks like his signature, so I feel pretty comfortable saying that is his autograph. Here are two current Braves cards. Austin Riley, Spencer Strider. Austin Riley looks like the 71 set, and I paid $1 for both these cards, each one of them. And then, like I said, a Spencer Strider rookie, and man, he's really lighting them up this year. But you know, I'm real happy to pick these up, especially for $1. However, these cards, they're not for me. They're from my mom. Mom Card Zero. She is a huge Braves fan. She loves the Braves. She doesn't miss a game. If they're on TV, she's watching them. And in fact, she is downstairs right now watching the Braves. The only thing is that the game is actually on rain delay. So the game that she's actually watching is one that has already been played, and she is just as happy as she can be watching that game because they're winning. And I just don't have the heart to tell her that's not the game that she was wanting to watch. So if you hear somebody cheering, it's her cheering for a game that happened back in April. Bless her heart. Some Zach Thomas cards. Now listen, Zach Thomas, he's got a good chance of going in the Hall of Fame. And so right now would be the time to pick up his cards. And look at this one. That one's really cool looking. And this one, I'm assuming this is rookie. But Zach Thomas, I think he made All-Pro like 5 or 6 times. I mean, he was one of the best linebackers. Madam Editor, fact check me on that. I'm sure you will. Another Dolphins card is this right here. It's Tua, and bought a couple of his cards at this show. But I do some photography, and so I understand what's going on here as far as like the background, and so I'm assuming that this right here is actually in a shadow, and obviously this is not. Which means if this is in the shadow, then Tua is the player standing in the shadow. So I guess what they did was they focused on the player and got the proper exposure, which meant the background was overexposed or blown out. And it looks like there's a nuclear explosion going on or something, but it just gripes me that they would even run this. I mean, in the world of digital photography.
2 hours later.
Or better yet, just pick a different photo. Here's a 72 passing leaders: Roger Staubach, Greg Landry, and Bill Kilmer. Charles Barkley. Speaking of bad photography, look at that. Put a cape on him because it looks like he's flying through the air. It's just, I mean, this is Charles Barkley. They could have had, I know they had more photos than this that they could have used. It's just really weird. He's got his junk right in his face. I mean, it's almost like the only thing this card is missing is a hole punch piece of plywood to make it a glory hole. Here is Hakeem Olajuwon before he changed his name, and I can't tell if that's red or orange on yellow, or I mean that color combination for the name is just god awful. Yellow and orange or yellow and red, it's just not a good color combination. It just doesn't work, and that's one reason that a lot of teams, professional teams, they just don't use that because it's not very attractive. But here's a card that really makes me happy. This right here, David Robinson. He's my favorite player. And I mean, look at that beautiful Spurs logo. The beautiful Spurs logo. It just looks so much better than the logo that the Spurs have nowadays, just the silver and black. Just beautiful. And I mean, that's just a beautiful front. Flip it over. Look at that pink. I tell you, I mean, that is just, only the Spurs can do that. And but that keeps slipping out. Anyway, but I mean, when I think of collecting in my youth, collecting basketball cards, I mean, this right here is what I think about. I mean, it just really thinks about my childhood.
Does anybody here speak English? Do you guys speak English?
So here's a couple of my bigger cards that I picked up, and can't get it out of their own sleeve, and you'll see why. Because it's one of these big tall boys right here, and I've always liked these cards because they're just different. But you can see that there's some condition issues. But it's Oscar Robertson, and I don't have any of his cards, so it's pretty cool to pick this up. You can see maybe somebody spilled a little coffee or something on the background or on the back. But it's really a cool card. Like I said, I didn't have any of his cards, but I do now. Another player that I didn't have any of his cards, but I do now, is this right here. Leonard Robinson. I'm joking. Pistol Pete. You can see I paid $3. I can't remember if I said it. I paid $5 for that Oscar Robinson, and $3 for this. And it's just a cool card, and it's from the 80 set, I believe. But you can see that this is probably one of his last years, maybe his last year in the NBA. A big NBA rookie that I picked up right here. Check this out. Allen Iverson is a Sterling rookie. Paid $5 for it. And not my favorite player, but definitely very collectible, so I had to pick that up. Now, at this same dealer, all those cards came from the same dealer. He had a couple cards that really they're going to help me with my 75 set. And right here's one of them. I was flipping through, and I found this. It's a Nolan Ryan highlights card. I've got the Nolan Ryan regular card, but I didn't have the highlights card. This is card number 5. And you can see I paid $5 for it. But it's card number 5. And the reason that's significant is because now I can at least I have my 75 set in a binder. So that first sleeve, that first page can now be complete. But this right here, you can see that it talks about Ryan's third straight year of 300 strikeouts, which this is right in the prime of Nolan Ryan's career. Well, he played for so long. He never won like a bunch of awards or anything, but I mean, look at all the records he's got. You know, he has to be proud of that. I know I am. the other big rookie, or the other card that I picked up from my 75 set is this right here. Check this out. A Robin Yount rookie for $15. Again, some condition issues, but now I already have the Robin Yount card, but the Robin Yount, my Robin Yount card is actually in a one of those big screw down cases. So is the George Brett. So they're not actually, neither one of those cards are in my binder. They are in the big plastic screw downs that you remember seeing from the 90s. So I bought this for $15 because it's a good deal, but I also bought it because now I'm going to put this one in the binder itself. So once I get everything done, I'll have a complete set. So inside the binder. So I'm real happy to pick this up. And, you know, it's almost kind of poetic that this would be, with going to, this first episode would be me going to Hickory, my favorite show, and it ends with me finding a Robin Yount rookie, which Robin Yount was my first big pickup card, the first big card that I ever bought. I think I paid $50 for it in like 89 or 90. So that's one reason I like the 75 set. And it just seems really, it's fitting that this would be found at the Hickory show and in my first video. So real happy about that. All right, so folks, the rest of this stuff I'll probably do in another episode, but I want to at least show it to you while we're here. And I bought this at the Hickory show. I bought this for $20. And you can see it's just, I could have spent all day at this one guy's table. He had so much stuff. And you can see this is exactly what I'm looking for. I mean, you got a Conseco rookie. You see a bunch of 75 cards on the front. But I'm going to go through this in another episode along with some other stuff that I picked up. But I'm so happy to go through or to find all this right here. You can, on the back of it is a 73 Yaz card, and I bet you know what that is. I know. Anyway, we'll find out in the next episode. Also, I picked this up right here. It is a,
we got a 91 Donruss factory set.
And honestly, I don't care that much about Donruss, the factory set. But what I do care about is that right there, the Leaf Preview cards. You get 4 of those in there, so I'll probably do that in another episode. See which Leaf Preview cards I can pick up. I think there's a Griffey, a Bo Jackson. I mean, who knows what I'll get. And then, and then I got these 2 rack packs for $10. The first rack pack is I'm going to raise this up a little bit. First rack pack is this right here. It is a 89 Bowman. So we're looking for the big name, that's Griffey Jr. See if maybe there's any stars on the back. It looks like maybe a Tino Martinez rookie. And so I'm going to open that up in another episode along with this one. This is my favorite set of all time. This is
1987 Topps.
And I mean, this set is absolutely loaded with rookies. You mean, you got Bonds and you got Barry Larkin and Bobby Bonilla, Mark McGwire and Jose cards. But I mean, this set is absolutely just got rookies galore. And I'm trying to think if there's any other rookies in the set. It's like I'm forgetting one big rookie. I can't think who it is. Yeah, I'm not opening this. I'm definitely putting this somewhere. But anyway, like I said, I'll at least the Bowman pack. I can't wait to rip that open and pull out that Griffey Jr. rookie because I don't even know if I've ever had that card. But I tell you, I'm just so happy that to go to the show and start this series of videos just to build up my collection again. I mean, I once had a pretty impressive collection, but I lost it, and now I'm in the process of trying to build it back up again. And just I'm really excited to do these videos. I'm really enjoying it. I hope you're enjoying it as much as I am. I hope you find it a little bit informative, maybe a little bit funny. I can't help it. I am a little bit of a doofus, so, but that's okay, or at least my mom tells me it's okay. But, I really am enjoying it. I hope you do too. And I plan on being at the next show, going to the next show in, I think it's Raleigh, and then Mooresville, like 2 weeks after that. So I'm really, really looking forward to these next few shows. There's even a couple big shows, one in Myrtle Beach and one in Gatlinburg later in the year that I hope to go to, make a whole weekend vacation out of those. But we'll take steps toward that on down the road. But right now, I guess I'll probably just wrap up this episode. And it went a little bit longer than I expected, but with it being the first episode, there's a little bit more to cover. But anyway, I guess without anything else, we'll wrap this up. So until next time, y'all have a good day.